That real love is the ability to sacrifice yourself and even give your life for your neighbor. So love in this kingdom is not measured by you. If you are going to measure love by yourself, that, okay, love others, only if I must love myself and I can only love others to the measure that I love myself. No, 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 no. Because sometimes you will not feel like loving people. Sometimes you don't even love yourself, but you still have to love God and you still have to love other people. So the focus of love in Christianity is actually God and others. And we say, how is that possible? Well, it is possible. If you love God, you will love yourself. And if you love God, you will love others. But you are not the standard. It is God that is the standard for love. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is that in paganism, the focus of love is man, is himself. Is himself, myself, and my relatives. But in Christianity, the focus of love is for others. Love is for others. Now, in paganism, people love, the most important thing people love in paganism is self. And you tell me, if the people who go to our African churches these days, if himself is not the motivating factor, you will see that most of the people who go to church in African churches, it is self that is at the top of it. Everybody wants to gain something or get something for themselves. What is driving them is not love for God. But church is supposed to be about love for God. Going to church should be about loving God. That is why I want to go to church, to find him, to relate to him, to discover him, to be like him. I don't go to church because I want God to bless me. That means I'm using God to benefit myself. If I do that, I become the God of my life. I am the purpose. I am the end result. So that is what paganism does. Whenever you are going to church for yourself, because you want to get pregnant, because you want to get married, because you want to get a wife, because you want to get healing, because you want to get breakthrough, because you need business success, that means it is your ego that is driving you to God. It is not God, not love for God that is driving you to church. What is driving you to church is love for yourself. You are an idol worshiper. Simple and plain. Anybody who goes to church because they want to get something, and the thing they want to get is not to get to know God, it's not to get the knowledge of God, it's not to discover his character, his nature, it's not to discover his virtues and his principles, to be able to copy him, be like him. If that is not the reason you are going to church, and you are going to church to be blessed by him, to give you some blessings, and to make your life better, it means selfishness is driving you. That is paganism. But if you are a real Christian means that you love God so much that because he has died for you, he has given his life for you, he has sacrificed himself for you, he has shown and demonstrated his love for you, that while you are yet a sinner, he died for you. And because he died for you while you are yet a sinner, you love him so much. You are so grateful to him. You want to do everything to please him. You want to make him the purpose of your life. You want to give your life to him. Your time belongs to him. Your energy belongs to him. Your education, you want to study. You want to do everything to glorify him. You just love him, not because he's giving you something, even if he doesn't give you anything. You just want to love on him. When that is why you are serving God, you are a lover of God and you are a Christian. That kind of love, when you have that kind of attitude to God, then you don't need to be looking for God by going to, you don't need to go to church to find God. You don't need to go to some services. You don't need any man of God, because you are already connected through love to God. Then, when we talk about love, in paganism and in Christianity, especially in paganism, a lot of things, people love a lot of things. In paganism, people don't just love themselves, and they don't just go to worship God for the love of self, but they also go to church or to worship to God for the love of different things. Number one is because of the love of self. Number two is because they love things, or they love money. That's why Jesus was talking about mammon. They love of money, prosperity. They want to prosper. They want to be blessed. They love money, blessings, mammon, and self-interest and comfort, their own benefit. They love that more than they love God. That is another thing that is driving people to God. So you look into African church today and look at the churches that are reigning in Africa. You tell me what drives them. Is it not love for self and love for their comfort and for their own blessings that drives them to church? I mean, 99% of people of churches in Nigeria, they are not going to church to discover God. They are not going to church to get to know him. They are not going to church to get to know how to love him better. They are going to church because they want to be blessed. And that is paganism. That's the root of paganism. That is what Jesus meant when he said, you cannot serve God and mammon. That is mammon. When you are going to church for blessing, when you are going to church for comfort, for breakthrough, for business, for any other thing other than for the love of God, that is paganism right there. Other people go to church because of the love, because they want something for their families or for their relatives. They want their children to be blessed. They want their children to get admission. They want their child to get healed or to be, it is okay when pagans are doing this. I mean, unbelievers are doing this. When unbelievers, they don't know God, so they don't love him yet. So they are looking for their own interest. They love themselves, they are looking for their own interest. So they are being driven by that interest to God. That's why we could use that to give them, to bring them to the Lord. And then when they get to know the Lord, they must love God. We must teach them how to love God. But in churches in Africa, nobody teaches you how to love God after you've got saved. They rather begin to teach you in such a way that you become even the center of your life. You even begin to think that God is there only for you, that God is existing just for you. So you are the boss. God is just the ATM machine. Unfortunately, that is the kind of Christianity that is being practiced in Africa today. That's why I said paganism has hijacked the African church. It is now idol worshiping that we are practicing, not no more Christianity. In Matthew chapter 6, verse 24, in Matthew chapter 6, verse 24, the Bible says, no one can serve two masters. And these things I've been describing is serving another master, because that master is you. You are going for yourself. You are the master. Mammon is the master. Your interest is the master. So no one can serve two masters. For either he will hate one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. Unfortunately, in most churches in Africa today, there's no more talk about serving God. People are just using God. They mention the name of God, they sing about God, they say religious words, they read from the Bible, but those are just facade. Those are just playful, demonstration that they are Christians. But really, what is really driving them, it is what is driving you that's your God. It is what is motivating you, what is pushing you, that is what you are serving. Because the Bible says in Romans chapter 6, that it is to what you give yourself to in obedience. That is your God. That is who you are serving. That is your Lord. You are a slave to that desire, the prominent desire of your life that is driving you. So the Christianity in Africa needs to be cleaned up. Christianity in Africa needs to be purified. Christianity in Africa needs to be to be cleaned. It needs to be cleaned up. If you have been watching our videos and maybe you enjoy them, I want to show you something today. But still, we need you to. Do they speak about love in charismatic in African? We only need you to take 5 definitely they speak about love. Please help us spread this word by liking the video. Churches in Africa, ministers in Africa speak about love. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe. But they don't speak about the love. We also need you to press the notification. How do I know that? Somebody will say, you are accusing people, you are pointing accusing fingers. Click on it. Then, of course, leave your comments. I am not pointing accusing fingers. I am telling you the obvious. If there is love being preached, the Bible says, by their fruit you will know them. If there is love, real love, the biblical love being preached, there will be no children in the street. In fact, go and find me that video of the girl, of the Danish girl. Go into YouTube, just write Danish girl and happy.